It brings a dynamic city and a rabid, large, and passionate fan base.
It's kind of something that they've always looked forward to for football.
I don't think anybody could be more proud than I am to say we're a part of this conference.
Monday night, Louisville and Miami in Louisville, the first Cardinals football game as a member of the ACC. I'm Jeff Fischel here on the ACC Digital Network, and joining me now from CardinalSports.com, it's Howie Lindsey. Howie, you're the expert. You talk to me about Louisville. Give me a sense of how excited fans, students, alumni are to be in the ACC with that first game coming up.
Oh, they're incredibly excited. I can't overstate it enough. This is something Louisville fans have been looking forward to for a long time. And in fact, they've built their program ever since Howard Schnellenberger essentially founded the football program. They've kind of traveled through all these other conferences, Conference USA and Big East and the AAC, and now they've finally arrived. And so there's a sense in Louisville that it's big-time sports in every sport. They couldn't be more excited. They had a huge celebration down at 4th Street Live downtown Louisville and had, I don't know how many fans, 5, 8, 10,000 fans were down there. It was a huge crowd and a big-time celebration for this ACC kickoff.
You brought up 4th Street Live. Give ACC fans who might be coming into town for a game this season or basketball season, where should they go in town? What should they discover about Louisville?
It's the Derby City. It's so much fun. It is essentially the gateway to the South for northern folks. It's right there on the Ohio River, so a lot of activity right there on the river. You've got Churchill Downs, which is right next to downtown. It's a city built on fun. I mean, essentially the bourbon capital of the world, horse racing capital of the world. We've got great sports, great college sports. Louisville likes to say it's the best college sports town in America because it's a big city, 1.2 million people, and no pro sports. It's all about the University of Louisville. So if you come to Louisville, you're going to have an absolute blast. Stay downtown or stay out near the fairgrounds and tour downtown. Go to Churchill Downs. Take a bourbon tour and you know, try some of our great restaurants here in town.
Now, I think I heard you mention bourbon and ponies at least a couple times each. So I think that's a hint about what to expect in Louisville. It sounds good.
Yeah, and what's wild about Louisville is, you know, it was a stopover on the river. So essentially, all those sailors going down the river, they'd have to stop here for the night because of the Falls of Ohio. So they wanted gambling and bourbon and alcohol and tobacco, and that's essentially how the city was founded.
All right, I can understand why people think Louisville's a fun town. Good sales pitch right there. Hey, let's talk Monday night now for a minute. We saw what Louisville did to Miami in December in the bowl game, but that was with Charlie Strong as head coach, Teddy Bridgewater quarterback. All right, insert Bobby Petrino, insert Will Gardner. What should we see from Louisville? What will we see from the Cardinals Monday night?
It is going to be a high-powered offensive attack. If you're familiar with what Bobby Petrino did here at Louisville the first time, he's going to install that exact same offensive attack again. I think you're going to see a lot of passing, a lot of power running game. He averaged like 45 points a game his last couple of years when he was at Louisville. I expect them to ramp this thing up, use all those different wide receivers. He's got a saying called feed the studs. That's essentially get the ball to your best players as many times as possible. So you're going to see a lot of Dominic Brown, the big running back. You're going to see a lot of these great wide receivers. They don't have Devontae Parker, but they've still got 5 other guys who are senior wide receivers who are very good players.
All right, now fans watching at home, they may not know the schedule. If you're watching right now, you know, start with Miami, but you have Florida State, Clemson, that entire Atlantic schedule, and then you also have the Notre Dame game and the rivalry game with Kentucky. What kind of record should Cardinals fans expect in year 1 in the ACC?
Well, that's very difficult. Louisville's never played a schedule that is this tough top to bottom. You know, Howard Schnellenberger had some better schedules back in the early 90s, but in terms of overall strength of schedule, this is by far the toughest that Louisville's had. Now, Louisville's won, what, 23 games the last 2 years? I don't expect that. I think it's going to be tougher than that, but I do expect them to be successful. I think they'll go to a bowl, and whether or not that's 7 wins, 8 wins, 9 wins, 10 wins, I think it all depends on how well Will Gardner picks up this offense and how fast Devontae Parker can get back in shape because he's got that surgery. He's going to be out 6 to 8 weeks. He is the deal. Guys, he could be a first-round draft pick. He is one of the best wide receivers I've ever seen in person.
That is saying something, and I got to admit, I've watched the film. I'm looking forward to seeing him in person. He is that good. Howie Lindsey, great talking to you from CardinalSports.com. You can follow him on Twitter at Howie Lindsey. That's with an E. I'm Jeff Fischel. You're watching the ACC Digital Network, brought to you by Ruby Tuesday.